welcome back to another balancing chakra video with the energy massage. So today is going to be about the third eye. So the third eye is into the center between the two eyebrows, just in the forehead here. It is responsible for our intuition. So it's responsible for us that knowing without explanation. It is the visions and the clarity of what's our next step, where do we need to go, where is our journey taking us. So if you're struggling with this, you might not be trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. You might be struggling with clearing away some of the fogginess or the static around it. Sometimes if we get really stuck in our head of kind of like what's right, what's wrong, you know, what these people said or what that people, and you get so tied up into what everybody else thinks instead of what you're feeling, this can be really blocked. So it's really about connecting back to not so much the logic of things, but the feeling. What does it feel like? And that's when you connect back to your intuition, is when you're like, I don't know how to explain this, but I just know this is the right thing to do. So this chakra is great to work with, but it is a little bit different because it's in the forehead. There's not a whole lot obviously for massage or even yoga. So there is a few things that we can do though. So number one, as we work into the third eye and the crown, some of the things are very similar, like working with meditation, working with journaling, working with things where we can kind of focus back into us and what we're feeling, and not so much, like I said, what we're thinking, but what we're feeling. So meditation is really great. The oil that I would use myself for this would be the meditation oil. Now, the meditation oil is specifically made for the crown, but because we're working so closely related, and they're so similar in the same sort of way of letting go and that higher chakras into more the spirit realm, this is a great one to work with. So I will talk a little bit more about this with the crown chakra one. But yeah, so placing a little bit of oil in your hand, whatever one works best for you. Rubbing your hands together, and this is where you really want to put your hands right up to your face. Cupping your eyes almost and really inhaling. So inhaling right to the third eye and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale. So what I like to do is I like to just start to rub across from side to side, and then I like to pull it down the jaw, across from side to side, down the jaw. And I like to grab my thumbs, so this kind of part between your knuckle area, and I like to rub, so I like to go down, up and down like this, and then I like to pull it across. So I'm pulling across, and up and down, and across. I also like to tap, so I like to tap on my forehead. And then you can even rub a little bit into so you cross your forehead into your head. And like I said, if I was working on the third eye, massaging back and forth. If I was working on the third eye, I'd be working on the crown as well. So I'd be massaging the whole head. So that's where you would end up going. So yeah, and then you can just pat down, across the forehead, and then pulling it down and fleshing it out. Pulling it down, letting it go, cross, down, and letting it go. So one way that I like to work with this chakra as well is using an eye pillow. So I like to use this with clients. We put it on their forehead, but it covers their eyes as well, so it gives them that darkness to be able to tap into meditating and just kind of bringing yourself inward and just cutting out any of the outer stimulation. So any noises or sounds and lights and different things like that. So these are really great, and you can get some with herbs in them. I'm all sold out right now, but yeah, you can get ones with different herbs like lavender, peppermint, different things like that can help with headaches and also just connecting back, right, those herbs. So these are really great. The crystal I like to use these really flat ones because then you can place it on the forehead. So I like the shape of this. This is a celadite. I hope I'm saying that right. But yeah, you put it right on the forehead, and this is really great if you're in meditation. I do this working on clients as well. I really like this one. This one's really good for headaches too. So if you're having a hard time with headaches, it's really great for that. So even though this color is indigo, we are working with more purple foods because when we move into the crown, we actually don't work with foods. So purple foods like figs, grapes, prunes, eggplant, purple cabbage, purple potatoes is all going to stimulate the third eye chakra. The other thing is I like to do for yoga based would be things like where you could do eagle pose, so eagle arms, and then what you would do is you would push the thumb into the third eye. So that's one way you could stimulate. The other way you could stimulate is going into child's pose, so toes together, knees are wide, you're bringing your sit bones down, and then you can use a block to rest your forehead on, or you can use stacked fists, and then you would rest your forehead down. And that will help to stimulate that chakra. And what I like about doing it in child's pose is that you are in kind of that rest state. So you can stay in child's pose for a longer period of time and just relax into the pose, into that meditation, and stimulating that at the same time. You can also work with your drishti. So your drishti is your gaze. So if you're standing in Tadasana at the top of your mat in mountain pose, you can send your gaze up. So that's going to connect you to your third eye. So working with how your eyes are sitting and looking upward is going to help to stimulate the third eye as well. But like I said, meditation is really good as well. That's really going to bring you back inward in connecting. And like this one is really, it takes time to develop because we've been raised in a society where the things that we kind of always knew or felt, then we were questioning them later from the pressures from society. So perfect example is when I decided to move here, I just knew I needed to be here and I just sold everything and it made no sense to anybody. I came here with no job. I didn't see the place we were living in or anything. So I really just flew with my intuition and it was like, I couldn't explain it, right? So the logic wasn't there to be able to explain to people like, I just know this is what I need to do. So it's hard to do that because we live in a society where we're so focused on logic, right? Like, you know, you need to do this and have that and organize this and that. So when you reach into your intuition and you're just like, I don't know why, but this feels right, that's when it feels uncomfortable. It feels uncomfortable because it does go against the kind of the social norms. So it takes time to open up into this third eye. So give yourself lots of time and space. And just start little, right? Just start with little things. What does this feel like? What does this feel like? And really focus on what does it feel like in your body. So if your body is feeling really anxious and stressed, then it's probably not the right thing. If you feel really calm and you feel like, no, this is good, then it's probably the right thing. So that's how we're going to connect back to our intuition, is tapping into our body, because our body is going to show us what our intuition is trying to speak through. All right. Okay. I think that's all for this chakra. I hope that gives you guys some tips and tricks and different little ways to work with this chakra. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and we will talk really soon. All right.